Tonight we are here at Universal Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights 32. But tonight is not gonna be like any other night. We are doing the special R.I.P Tour, which is basically the VIP tour for Halloween Horror Nights. This is the very first time I'm doing a R.I.P tour for Halloween Horror Nights, and I am super excited. You have a tour guide that takes you through all 10 houses. You get to skip the line, so you don't have to worry about waiting. And then they take you to go see Nightmare Fuel, which is the show at Halloween Horror Nights, and you get special seating as well. Now, I will say it was a hefty price. I believe we paid almost $390 per person to do this R.I.P VIP tour, but I am really excited, so let's head on in and have a great night. All right, awesome. Like I said, this is gonna be our first R.I.P tour. We've been coming to Horror Nights for what, 4 years now?
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to skipping the lines because the past 2 nights we've been waiting in line and that's a pain.
All right, and because we have been the past 2 nights like you said, which house are you looking forward to the most?
Ooh, that's tough. I haven't done The Last of Us yet, so I'm excited for that house, but I'm really excited to do Oddfellow Dark Origins a second time.
What's been your favorite house so far?
Ooh, that's tough. Yeti Campground Kills probably, and then Dr. Oddfellows.
So for me, I've done 7 of the 10 houses so far. My favorite being Stranger Things, Dueling Dragon, and Dr. Oddfellows. Not in that order, but those are some of the best houses I think so far. That could change tonight. I haven't done The Exorcist, and that is a house I'm not looking forward to. I think I'm gonna be completely terrified in that house. Let's go and check in for our R.I.P tour. We checked in around 5:30 at guest services for our tour, and for the evening we had a private tour. So you can either schedule a R.I.P tour where you can have others join in on the tour with you, or you can schedule a private R.I.P tour. With the private R.I.P tour, we got access to this exclusive lounge on top of guest services where you check in for your VIP tour. They had a bunch of areas for you to sit or tables to stand at. There was also food and drinks in there, but you did have to pay for the drinks. While in here, this is also where you will meet your tour guide, where they will hand you these exclusive R.I.P tour pins, as well as your lanyard with your R.I.P pass for the evening. So we relaxed in here for about 30 minutes and made our way out to the balcony to watch this year's opening ceremony. Now, how the R.I.P tour works is your tour guide takes you through all of the houses and scare zones at Halloween Horror Nights, but before going through each one, they explain a little backstory and what all you might see in each house or scare zone. Also, there are exclusive R.I.P tour bars that you can stop at throughout the night. It is a nice place to relax, grab a drink. They do have some exclusive R.I.P tour only drinks inside some of the bars. Not all of them have them, but some of them do, and it's really nice just to get away from the crowd and all the scares. But enough of me talking. Let's go into the fog.
Remember, I was telling you about the origin of Dr. Oddfellow. He was an adventurer, he's a collector. He's trying to gain immortality. So when he heads into the jungle and he finds this giant green glowing skull, he's like, well, that seems pretty important. He sticks it in a staff that he uses, and it actually did gain him immortality, which is why he's so powerful, and is why he's able to channel a lot of the different spirits of the Zodiacs as well. So we're going to be walking through his origin story. You might see Dr. Oddfellow as a human in his natural human state before he gets all crazy, slashed by Jack and all that good stuff. We're also going to be seeing a lot of creatures that have been affected by the skull as well. It's kind of like his minions that he's been able to possess. Very human, animal, alien hybrids.
Awesome.
Ready to go through? I'm excited. the video game?
I play both.
I have also watched the show. But
Yeah.
this one is going to be completely based off of the video game. We have Joel and Ellie, and it was discovered by the Fireflies that Ellie actually has immune blood to the infected. So they're going to be traveling across the country from Pittsburgh all the way over to the Firefly base to see if they can do some tests on her and see if she can be the cure to the entire pandemic. You're going to be seeing a lot of different stages of infected here. You're going to see bloaters, clickers, runners, all of the different kinds. Every single one of the costumes is completely specially designed, so no one is the same as the other. It's a really cool house, guys. I really like it. It's very scary, though. They get up in your face.
Yeah, great. Love that.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Ready? All right.
All right, we just got through The Last of Us house. It's your first time through it. What'd you give it?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though I didn't play the game, I watched the show. I enjoyed it, but
Rating?
I'll have to give it another rating once we do it at nighttime because my eyes weren't adjusted to the darkness of the house.
So what was your original rating? You gotta give it something right now.
I give it a solid 8.
8?
Yeah.
You ready for
I'm
me?
ready. All right, what was y'all's rating of Last of Us?
I'd say 8.5 out of 10.
I'd say a 9, but I think it's
9?
only because my eyes weren't adjusted with it being bright out.
I agree.
So does that
I
mean
can
it could be
see-
better later?
It could be better later, yeah.
That's what
I'd love to see it when it's dark.
Yeah, my rating needs because I didn't adjust, so I couldn't see everything. So next time.
Mask is what it's called. So Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, they're on tour for a medicine show that they are having. This is going to be in Paris. So we're going to see a lot of different places in Paris, one including the Notre Dame Cathedral. We have the Hunchback here. We also have the Invisible Man wreaking havoc, as well as the Phantom of the Opera. Every single one of those pays homage to the start of Universal Studios as a whole. The reason why Universal Studios is what it is because of its monster movies. Monster movies were kind of, they're really cheap to make back in the day because you could reuse sets, you could reuse the same kinds of prosthetics. So we kind of just pumped them out in like the turn of the century, early 1900s movies. And they became so popular that it's kind of what we're known for today. So we always like to pay homage most years to Universal Monsters. This one is very beautiful. Personally, I wish they would have added some musical elements to it because I'm a big fan of Phantom of the Opera myself. Yeah, so we're gonna head on in. We're gonna see what kind of havoc we can create.
Just got out of Universal Monsters Unmasked. I would give it, I mean, it's been one of my favorite houses all year. 8.5 out of 10. The jump scares in there are insane. I rarely get scared in some of these houses, but that one always gets me with some of them. All right, Austin, what's your rating?
I give it an 8.5 out of 10. This is my 4th time doing it.
Yeah, I gave it a 9 last night because it was, I got more scares last night. It was really good.
Just depends.
Yeah. All right, Emily, what'd you think of Monsters?
Thank you so much for asking. So I give it a 7 out of 10. Just because
A what out of 10?
A 7 out
Okay.
of 10 Hampton. Because again, my eyes weren't adjusted, but also I think the Phantom has too much time in the house. I think it needs to be more even, and then it would be better. But it's still a very good house, so 7 out of 10.
This is the specialty cocktail over here at the Coca-Cola bar for the R.I.P Tour. It's a bunch of things. Cam will show you the thing in it.
What do you rate it?
7.5. 7.5
out of 10?
7.5 out of 10.
This is very good. I like a sweet and fruity drink, so I'm all about this. And it fits into my reusable Bar Nights 2023 cup. And then I can bring it into the houses.
And your little...
In my little cup holder from 2022 that I did not just buy on eBay last week.
Takes place during the Dust Bowl. This is a town where everyone's kind of down on their luck. Isn't really making a lot of money. So there's a guy named Pine Straw Spruce, and he ends up selling his soul to the devil because he wants to be a famous singer. So we are his roadies. We're going to be traveling along the story of him gaining fame. Near the end, I don't want to spoil too much, but the devil will take his soul in a time that is probably very inconvenient for him. So, are you ready?
Let's do it.
One of my favorite original houses of all time. If you've done puppet theater before, it's very similar to puppet theater.
Puppet theater, yes.
It's really good. Lots of different puppets. Although there's a heck of a lot more clowns this time. I'm a little scared of
Yeah,
clowns.
I hate clowns.
Dr. Oddfellow has opened up a circus during the Dust Bowl times, very similar to the era that Dark Steel was in. It's kind of boring, not all that. So when the guests complain, Dr. Oddfellow's like, look, come after hours. When the sun goes down, I'll give you a real show. Wink, wink. Turns out he's gonna be sacrificing all of the guests. He's gonna be stabbing them with knives. He's gonna be sacrificing them. There's gonna be animal sacrifices. If severed animal body parts is kind of weird for you, just look down. There's a lot of those.
So that's what happens when you're mean to guest relations here. Got it.
Absolutely. They'll send a zebra head at your door. This is also going to be the origin story of Jack the Clown, which is going to be our our very first icon that we've had at Halloween Horror Nights. He was a worker, like one of the clowns, at the circus, and Dr. Oddfellow is a little bit intimidated. He wanted to be number one. Dr. Oddfellow wants to stay number one, so he ends up attempting to kill Jack. However, Jack did not want to go without putting up a fight. He scratches Dr. Oddfellow in the face before he's finally shoved into his crate, and that blood is immortal blood that Dr. Oddfellow has. So Jack was able to arise from the dead and reclaim his place as one of the icons at Universal Studios. So at the very end, you'll see an Easter egg. There's a shadow of Dr. Oddfellow shoving him into the crate, if you can spot it. Also, the very first scene of the house, there's 3 different clown shadows. The third one is going to be Jack the Clown. So another fun little Easter egg.
Alright, we just came out of Dr. Oddfellow's, which has been probably one of my favorite houses of the whole year. I rate that house a 9.5 out of 10. If you love Horror Nights, if you love all the lore, you have to go in it. Like I said, one of my favorite houses of the year. That and Monsters are probably my top 2. As of right now, it could change throughout the year. But Oddfellows like blew my mind. I knew it was gonna be one of the top houses this year, but once I went through it for the first time last night, went through it for the second time tonight, still holds the same score. An unbelievable house.
I loved it a lot more than opening day. We had a lot more scares, which was great because there's animatronics, there's scare actors, so it's a great combination. So I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10, and I'm negating some points because I didn't see Josh.
Okay.
So next time I'll see Josh.
You want to explain who Josh is?
Josh is my best friend. Josh is a puppeteer, and he's working in the Oddfellow house, so I highly recommend you go and see it. Overall, the theming of Oddfellow house is great, and it gives you a great opportunity to see the start of Oddfellow and then connect it to all the other houses and scare zones.
So one of the cool things about the R.I.P Tour is you can come here inside of Men in Black and get the immigration tour. I've always seen people do this since I first come to Universal, probably when I was a kid, and I've always wanted to do this. You literally come down to the bottom level and you get to check everything out. You get to sign your name on a little sheet. It is so cool. This is probably going to be one of my favorite parts of the whole tour this evening.
It's called Shipyard 32. Dr. Oddfellow, he's a collector, of course, so he needs his own little team to transport things that he finds in the jungle and other things in these giant crates, and he moves them through the shipyards. However, because they're enchanted objects, they get a little wonky and they start to infect the people who are transporting the magical objects. So they are slowly, as you can see, starting to become a bit more evil, a bit more sinister. They want to suck your souls out, most likely. So you'll be seeing a lot of kind of familiar designs, like the ones that we saw in the jungle area, as well as the collection of horror at the beginning. It all has a very similar theme when it comes to what the enchanted people look like, if that makes sense. Very cool. Lots of fog. It's kind of reminiscent of like a... my brain is completely the really cool house from last year. The one that I went through a million times. Dead Man's Pier. Yes, Dead Man's Pier. It's very similar to that as well. And
I don't know why it was coming so
I want to get this guy in the cage.
Yeah. It changes every time.
when it comes to the movies, such as The Bride of Chucky. I wonder if you guys can see it. This is gonna be my first time coming in with you guys, so I actually don't know where it is either. So I'm gonna be looking out for it too. This is a little bit different. This is like a house inside of a house. Story goes, Universal Studios wanted to invite Chucky, a little friendly, neighborly sort of situation. They're gonna make an entire exhibit based off of, make an entire exhibit based off of Chucky. They're gonna be like, look, you know, Chucky's not all that bad. You know, this comes in like all these different sizes. Chucky gets really mad. He's like, wait, we're not actually killing people, but you're just gonna show us the dolls? I'm gonna possess all these dolls, and I'm gonna kill all of your guests. So we are the guests.
Great.
Hopefully we can make it out. There is a lot of Chuckies in this house. And he's trying to make the ultimate kill count.
Just came out of Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. Honestly, if you haven't seen the show, you're not really gonna get it. There's a lot of scenes from the TV show on Peacock that are in the house. Probably, I hate to say it, it's a lot of animatronics. It's probably gonna be last on my list of houses here at Halloween Horror Nights. It's a fun house, it's funny. Chucky's funny, but scare-wise, I don't know, not my favorite.
Chucky Ultimate Kill Count was not the greatest house, but it was good. Chucky funny, haha, but it just wasn't it.
Oh, here we go.
It's not happening yet.
That was cold.
with that, there is an extremist group in this colony. They are going to be people who are worshiping the moon. So as the moon changes its phase, they think that the moon is trying to give them symbols, telling them what to do next, how to get more food, how to get more money. So one day, there is a crimson moon, big red moon that comes out. So they're like, oh, what else is red? Probably blood. What what should we do? Kill everybody? I mean, right? That it wants blood, so let's make some blood. So if more people are coming into the colony, you know, we're probably gonna want to kill them. So you guys are those people. So watch out.
Awesome.
Yeah. This one is actually based off of a roller coaster called Dueling Dragons that we had at Islands of Adventure that shut down. Has anyone ridden that one before?
Yeah.
I unfortunately never rode it, and I'm so sad about it. I think it was just too long of a wait when I came as a kid or something like that, but now it lives on in a Halloween Horror Nights house. Dueling Dragons is about two opposing warlocks. One is fire and one is ice. And the Lady of the Lake was woken up by Merlin, and she's really mad, so she trapped him in an oak tree. And he relinquished his spellbook. His spellbook is missing, and now the fire and ice warlocks are trying to basically fight to the death, for each other, with each other, fight to the death. Against each other. That's a really good thing. It's a good way to put it. They're trying to find Merlin's spellbook. So, just like it says, Dueling Dragons, choose your fate. Choose thy fate. At the very, very end of the house, you get to choose your own fate. You get to go through the fire side or the ice side. So this is also a new thing for Halloween Horror Nights. If you guys want to split up, if you all want to go together, there will be one victor. Either the ice warlock or the fire warlock will have killed Merlin, or Merlin will win. It's different every day.
That's awesome.
Okay, so this one is going to be Stranger Things 4. This is our newest season. I'm not going to tell you all too much because I know a couple of you guys don't want a lot of spoilers. However, I will say that every step of the house, every single room is another episode in the season. So there's kind of like the best of the best from every episode. It's really cool. Vecna is going to be narrating your very own nightmare. So you will hear his voice periodically throughout the entire experience. The Vecnas are just so cool. I love them. It's so visually stunning. This is my #1 favorite house of the year. Not just because I love the series, but because I put a lot of heart into this. And you'll definitely see some familiar faces you've been really wanting to see.
So right now we are on top of Jimmy Fallon. There's like an exclusive R.I.P bar up here for everyone that is doing the R.I.P tour. But the cool thing is we literally just ran through 4 different houses in probably 30 minutes. We did Stranger Things, Exorcist, Yeti, and Dueling Dragons. Leading up into Halloween Horror Nights, Exorcist was last on my list of the hype houses because A, I've never seen any of the Exorcist movies, and B, because that stuff absolutely terrifies me. Did I like that house? Absolutely not. But the reason I didn't like it is because it was terrifying. All the jump scares got me. 10 out of 10 on the scares. If you love a TV show, you have to come to Halloween Horror Nights and check out the Stranger Things house. Yeti, once again, another great house. And Dueling Dragons, if you went on the old roller coaster here in Islands of Adventure, you're gonna love the house. They have like the old entrance to the ride. It's insane. And at the end of the house, you get to choose thy fate. There is 4 different endings. I won't spoil it because I don't want to spoil any of the house for you, but it's such a great house. So like I said, Austin, we ran through 4 different houses in 30 minutes, which is insane.
Yeah.
Great. We really jumped house to house to house. What are your ratings on the 4 houses?
Yeti Campground Kills is a 9 out of 10 for me. Stranger Things, also 9 out of 10 for me. Exorcist, surprisingly was good. I thought I would be scared on that one, but I'd give that one a 6.9 out of 10. What was that 3rd one in there?
The 4th?
4th one.
Dueling Dragons.
Dueling Dragons. 8.8 out of 10. That house isn't really scary per se, but it is a really good and nicely themed house, and you get to choose your own ending there.
As you can tell, it is the next day, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But after we went up to the bar on top of Jimmy Fallon, we went and ran through 4 more houses. Dr. Oddfellows, Last of Us, Blood Moon, and Stranger Things. Those are the 4 houses that we wanted to do again. So in total, we went through 14 houses in one night. So after we did all of that, we wrapped up our amazing tour. I was very tired. So tired after going through all of the houses, even some of them multiple times, the scare zones, being there from 5 o'clock to 2 a.m. and doing actually Halloween Horror Nights from 5 o'clock to 2 a.m. 3 nights in a row. My body was completely shut down. I don't think I had an ounce of energy left to do an outro and explain my thoughts on the R.I.P Tour and if it is worth the price of it. Now that I've got my rest, woken up, I'm here to give you all my review of the R.I.P Tour, what I thought of it. So going into the R.I.P Tour, I was very skeptical of if I was gonna like it or not, just because of the hefty price of, I believe, like I said, ours was around $390 per person. Like I said earlier in the video, we did have the private tour, so it was all of our friends in our friend group. We had our own little private tour guide. There are different kind of R.I.P tours that you can do. I believe it's called a public tour, where you can just sign up and then you're grouped with a bunch of random people going through houses, but ours was exclusive just to our group. So I really enjoyed that, how, you know, we all knew each other in the group and we just had a lot of fun going to the scare zones, going to the houses. I also really enjoyed that our tour guide Alex went into so much detail about not only the houses, but even the scare zones that we were about to walk through, and give us the backstory and, you know, how these come to life, and even going into some of the houses that I had gone to previous on some of the other nights, not really knowing the full backstory of some of these houses, and then getting that full backstory before you go in. So you're looking at all the details of the set, all the scare actors. It was amazing. And obviously, the best part of the whole thing is that you get to skip every line. You get to skip obviously the normal line, and you even get to skip past Express. You get to go backstage and hop through houses. I'm pretty sure at one point we hit 4 or 5 houses in probably 30 to 45 minutes, which is absolutely insane, jumping back and forth. I really, really enjoyed it. Honestly, going into it, I talked to a bunch of people who had done it before, and they were like, this is literally gonna change the way you do Halloween Horror Nights. And I can confirm it will 100% change the way I do Halloween Horror Nights. I can definitely, even though it is a hefty price, I can definitely see myself doing it every year. I would probably do it on opening night. You get to learn all about the new houses, and then obviously you can't beat skipping all of the lines, because it just blew me away with how amazing that tour is and all that you get to see and do and learn. And then obviously you have the, you know, reception and the food during the event that you can go in and out of. Universal does a fantastic job with that tour. So I can't wait to continue doing this tour year in and year out, going through all these houses, learning about the history, learning all these like Easter eggs in the houses that you might not catch if you are just, you know, going through Express or even the normal line. They put a lot of hard work and great detail into these tours. Obviously, with the heavy price point, this tour is not going to be for everyone, but if you do have the money and you're going to Halloween Horror Nights and you want a very unique experience, I highly recommend booking yourself an R.I.P tour. And with that being said, once again, I highly recommend doing the R.I.P tour at Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. It blew me away. It was so much fun, and I cannot wait to do it again. If you all are going to Halloween Horror Nights this season, let me know down below in the comments. And if you went this weekend, let me know what your favorite house has been so far of the year. Obviously, I know all of our lists are probably going to change throughout the season. But if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to give it a big, big thumbs up, as it really does help out the channel a lot. Subscribe if you are new here, and make sure to ring that bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. A lot more Horror Nights videos coming soon. I definitely want to go and do a video just on the food there, because the food looks amazing, and all I've had so far are pizza fries. But like I said, that's the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.